Hello and welcome to Futures Fest Day 1. Today I'm going to be talking with Michael Turney, Thomas Jukes, Bronte Barbie and Rhys Davis. Right, so who are you and what do you do?
So my name is Michael Turney and I'm a motion graphic designer and I travel full-time, living out of a fairly about hack.
What are you here at uni to impart onto the students?
I think it's shown like a kind of like a different mindset, so you don't have to kind of like fit in kind of this conformist thing where it's like a 9 to 5, like a standard 9 to 5 job, and then this is what I was doing for many years, and then I realised I wanted to do more personal projects, so I didn't just have to kind of just work for money or work kind of all the time. And then now I work like 3 months out of the year, so I don't have to, so I can spend the rest of the time kind of doing what I want, personal projects, my own films, and showing people that it can be done, and it's a lot easier than what people initially think.
Yeah. Do you think that that's something that everyone can attain to?
For sure, yeah. I think it's just creating, it's defining success for yourself and finding out what success is. Is it free time? Is it design? Is it creating, maybe you're an illustrator and you want to get into animation? Is that like the freedom, kind of what do you define success as?
Yeah. Working freelance in the way that you do, is it a lonely experience or do you find it more rewarding?
I think it's more rewarding. You get to meet so many more people instead of going to the same office every day with the same people and not kind of getting challenged as much. You can kind of, it's so easy to slip into a routine in your comfort zone. So I guess it's more, you just get to meet more new people, new projects, and get to change. If you want to work more on 3D, more on like motion graphics or whatever, you can change the project you take on all the time. So I'd say it's more rewarding, definitely.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you've learned that you can impart onto the students?
I think just say yes to everything. I did it for a full month while I was in Greece. So my biggest fear was what happens if I have no money. So for 1 month in Greece, I spent all my money down to zero to feel that fear. What happens now? And I had the best month of my life. And then I just earned more money. Money should fluctuate, but time is a non-refundable currency.
So it's moving your focus off from money, which I think we're all quite focused on being at uni and having a huge amount of debt.
Yeah.
So it proves that you can.
You sure can. Like, I just finished paying off my student loan last year. I just aggressively paid it off, so now I'm 100% debt free, and I don't want a mortgage, because even in Latin, the mortgage means death signature. So I was like, I don't want one of those. So I ended up designing my own house and keeping it under $5 grand. Then I can buy it outright. I can earn $5 grand in like 3 weeks or something. So now I've bought my whole house. What's going to be a shipping container home, because you just think for yourself. And being a creative, you're used to challenges and restrictions from briefs, and it's using that mindset and developing it into like using it for life.
So what would you say are your top 3 tips to get through uni?
Top 3 tips. Don't spend any money because we're already in debt. I would say the top three tips. I'd say tip number 1 is define what you find successful, what you want to do. Do you really want to, then you've got all this equipment at hand, you've got teachers that are knowledgeable in their area. So ask and just try new things, so define success, keep trying, try pastels, try watercolors, try every type of thing you can. That's stage 1. And then tip number 2 would be, don't pick too many things, so be very selective about what you're picking. Instead of picking like, 50 different things, just pick 3, and they have to be for you, which are really fun. And the third stage is action. Even if it sounds like a good idea, like say the 10% off coffee or whatever, oh that sounds cool, or that logo's cool, or whatever, that quote, we're going to print it on a t-shirt. Instead of this, action it. So I'd say try lots of things, don't pick too many things, and action it. They're the only things.
Brilliant. And don't spend any money.
And don't spend any money.
Okay. Okay, so who are you and what do you do?
My name's Bronte Barbie and I am a musical theatre actress.
What was the last thing that you starred in?
I did a show before Christmas, which finished on the 23rd of December. It was called Striking 12. It was a musical at the Union Theatre in London. It was written by a New York band, so it had really cool music, but it was sort of a modern take on the Little Match Girl story, so it was good.
What was the first opportunity that came to you, music-wise?
Music-wise?
In like musical theatre?
I think I was playing Nagana in an amateur dramatics production of South Pacific. They put me in a black wig and it was completely wrong. But my mum loved musical theatre and so did my family, and she used to do it all the time, so I sort of went along with that.
So, looking back on your days at drama school, how did that shape you and your aspirations and where you wanted to go in later life?
It definitely consolidated my dreams and also my fears at the same time, because I knew it was going to be really hard. It grounded me and it sort of set me up for what I was to expect in the rest of my time in the industry. So it was invaluable, really.
So you starred on Over the Rainbow. How was that in shaping your career and aspirations?
I mean, it was the point when I really sort of realised what it was. It was hard. There was I think 11 of us girls who ended up going into the finals, and we were all in a house together, and it was amazing. It was like no other experience I've ever had, and I would go back and do it again in a heartbeat in terms of...
you lived with all of them?
Yeah, they
and
put
you
us...
were competing again?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Okay.
They sort of put us up in this house, and it started me off in the industry, really, because I met loads of amazing people, like casting directors who I've worked with since then, made some amazing friends, and I just realised what it was that I was after, and sort of gave me more drive.
Yeah.
It was a shock to the system after, because I then realised there was so many people in the industry, you know, but it was a really great experience.
Yeah, so even though you didn't necessarily win the competition, you still gained a lot out of it.
Oh gosh, yeah. And I mean, I think I do believe in sort of fate and everything like that, and everything happens for a reason. And I know my path was to go to drama school after the competition, having met the people that I did meet, and fulfill that sort of destiny, as it were, because I learnt so much in my training with those 3 years that I couldn't have done without that. I couldn't have gone straight out into the industry. I would have been vulnerable to a lot of things, and it was a really strong grounding for me.
What are you looking forward to like doing in the future? Is there like a main role or a stage show that you'd love to do?
I remember having like a list when I was about 15 of things that I wanted to do, and that's completely gone out the window now, because I really enjoy, I do a lot of workshops of new musicals, which is really nice because they're usually only a week or 2 weeks, so you know, I've always had a good time on them, but I guess if you weren't having a good time, that would be it, that would be gone. But I love developing something and creating, and it's nice to be the first person who's sung something as well, because obviously, you know, the long-standing musicals are harder to put your own spin on. So maybe something new, that'd be good.
What 3 things would you say to people in the musical theatre course just to get them through it? 3 tips.
3 tips. I would say work hard. You can never do enough work, because 90% of the time you'll get a part because you've put the work in. Have faith in your own ability and don't compare yourself to others, because it's only damaging. And my favourite quote ever, which is, be nice, you'll work more.
Right, okay.
From a great little book called The Golden Rules of Acting.
That's really good, yeah.
Well, yeah, it says it like 3 times in there, and that's so true. Like, you just have to be yourself, but nobody wants to work with somebody who isn't very nice.
It's good advice. So who are you and what do you do?
My name is Thomas Duke.
Right, okay.
I'm the curator at Open Eye Gallery. I work with artists and audiences and all the people that Open Eye Gallery works with, if that's, all different types of people, to connect the stories of now through photography to everyone.
So what have you learned through that job?
I've learned that we should all spend a little bit more time trying to think about circumstances beyond our immediate time. I've learned that artists are wonderful and awkward.
Yeah.
and that it's like, and that I like challenges and that I wish I had infinite money.
What's the main takeaway that you take away from your time in the industry?
That stories are the biggest part of the human experience.
And what 3 things would you say to a student here to help them along in their course?
Yeah, I think I was trying to find some practical advice in the talk today.
Yeah.
And the first one was just know who you are and at least have some sense of what you want to do. So know that you say, right, I'm Sam, I'm positioning myself as like the next Paula Yates, so that I'm the big interviewer on the world like today, and then I want to be working for, Eurotrash back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a really awkward dream to try and make come true, but at least you have you have a trajectory, you have somewhere that you want to go, and then that way you can kind of find advice, or you can find people who can help you. And I don't know what the second piece of advice would be, but the third piece of advice would definitely be, don't necessarily go and get a job in a bar. Like, you need to have a job to make money, to pay rent,
don't
buy
work in a bar.
gear. Working in a bar is really good fun. I really enjoy bar work, and you have really good friends, and you work nights, and you really cheap drinks and things. But it's just, it doesn't leave you any time to try like being creative or reading or like going out and stuff like this.
All right, well, I'll quit tonight then.
Do you work in a bar?
Yeah.
How is it?
Weatherspoons.
Weatherspoons?
Yeah.
Oh mate, wild. Best vegan menu, If you're
Only vegan menu in Carlisle.
Only vegan menu in Carlisle?
Probably.
Shout outs to Weatherspoons.
There we go. All right, so Reese, you're an interesting person to talk to because you actually attended this university and you graduated 2 years ago. How did you find your time here and how has it shaped your career?
I was a student here from 2013 to 2016. I did the BA Performing Arts course, which is a BAPA course, so it's theatre performance, musical theatre and acting, dance and tech theatre as well. My time here was fantastic. I did 3 years of performance where we had like public performances in the main theatre. We did kind of stylistic training, so we were learning about practitioners, dance training, singing training. I had a London showcase that someone from London came and auditioned us. We went down to the West End and performed the showcase for agents.
Is there any moment at this university that really stood out to you as like a turning point towards shaping your career or aspirations?
Yeah, I'd say the London showcase that we did in third year. In third year, my course, you were given the leeway to perform or to direct or to create or to do tech. For me, the definitive kind of moment that shaped me is the fact that being in Cumbria geographically doesn't make a difference. Geographically, from my focal point of my industry is London for the West End and things. But the fact that we are 6 hours away doesn't make any difference. The skills you learn here are transferable skills to any part of the world. And the training develops more and more. So since I left in 2016, I've seen the progression of all courses. There's now an MA in musical theatre, I think.
Yeah.
And there's a musical theatre course that you do, which is, I think, a BA Honours. So I realised that my training really does shape you as a performer. And it's something to be proud of. When I go to auditions, I meet guys who have trained at like Mount View, Arts Ed, GSA, Guildford, RADA, really like prestigious London training. But at the end of the day, when I go into the audition, I'm finding that I can keep up or deliver what I believe is my strongest version of my talent. And that's thanks to Cumbria. We've had that fantastic training here.
So what are your larger aspirations now looking forward? Is there any shows that you want to be a part of?
My dream since I was like 12, 13 was to be on the West End. And I think when I was a kid, I just wanted to be on the West End. I didn't want to do anything else.
So what are the 3 things that you'd say to a student at this university, like 3 tips to help them through the course?
3 things. First thing, preparation. In any field, in any job, in any creative role, you've got to be prepared. Prepare to fail to prepare, prepare to fail. You need to learn things, you need to take that extra class, you need to sign up for that course that you don't think is relevant to what you're doing right now. Because when you go out there, what you actually find, the tricky thing is that you're not competing necessarily. In my field, someone can get the job over me that is on paper or might sound less talented. What I mean by that is they might not sing as well as me, but they're more prepared, they've got more knowledge in a technique, or they've got more grounding in dance. So therefore, I fail to prepare myself in that situation. So preparation. I'd say belief. You've got to believe in yourself in anything. I can't expect someone on the audition panel to hire me if I don't believe in myself. So I was saying to the students that I've just had a guest talk with, that you have to be the biggest advocate for yourself. You have to shout from the rooftops that you can do anything. I said to them in there, it's not because I'm cocky or arrogant, but when it comes to an audition, I'll be the best person in the room because I believe in my talent. So belief. And the third thing, enjoyment. Don't get het up in things. Someone said to me, how do you cope with what was it? Doubting in yourself. And what I would say is, if you're prepared, you won't doubt. I always say, write things down. If you doubt in your abilities and anything, write it down, the problems, tick them off, work on them individually. But have fun. Don't get so like bogged down in like the legalities of things, and just remember why you're doing it, I guess. You know, in anything, there's no point doing something if you just truly don't enjoy what you're doing. So I guess preparation,
belief and have fun.
And have fun. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.